Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
We just got some shocking confirmation about Luke Skywalker and Grogu, about the relationship in the Mandoverse. We're gonna go ahead and hop right on into it and talk about this. Hey there guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and as I had just mentioned, we have some new shocking news here revealed about Grogu and Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian, really specifically in the Book of Boba Fett. In this video, we're going to be taking a read from the Direct's article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well, especially seeing that we're getting this kind of like just news update here essentially right before the third season of The Mandalorian is coming out here and premiering on Disney Plus tomorrow at the time of recording and publishing this video here, makes it all the more exciting and shocking at that there as well. The Mandalorian showrunner Jon Favreau, as we all know and love, may have hinted at how long Grogu, Baby Yoda, actually spent with Luke Skywalker between The Mandalorian Season 2, The Book of Boba Fett, and up until the events of The Mandalorian Season 3, after Luke Skywalker, of course, rescuing him from the Empire in the Season 2 finale. The Mandalorian Season 2 finale surprised just about everyone when Luke Skywalker arrived to save the day. However, it also led to Grogu departing Din Djarin's care to have proper Jedi training with Luke Skywalker. And despite that, the Book of Boba Fett eventually revealed the reunion between Mando and Grogu, with the latter choosing the Mandalorian over staying with Luke Skywalker and continuing his Jedi training. This here all being said, the question is posed about how long did Grogu stay with Luke Skywalker? How long in between the events are the Mandalorian Season 2 and with the Mandalorian Season 3, with the Book of Boba Fett taking place in between those two? Speaking recently with Sky Talkers, the Mandalorian showrunner Jon Favreau discussed Grogu's Jedi training with Luke Skywalker. The Marvel and Star Wars director appears to confirm that Grogu and Din Djarin had been apart for almost 2 years, indicating that Baby Yoda was with Luke during that period, saying that from Jon Favreau in full quote, "And we know that he started off earlier in the Jedi Temple with his Jedi training. We've seen flashbacks to that, and then we know that he's been rescued and spent many years with the Mandalorian, went back with Luke, and now we've been 2 years apart from him there training." Ending that quote right there. This revelation and reveal led to many shocking reactions from Star Wars fans all over, with some even questioning this 2-year gap. With one Twitter user, it doesn't seem to believe Favreau's claim of this 2-year time gap of Grogu and Luke Skywalker training essentially, noting that the show's tight on-screen timeline with overlapping events, saying that in their tweet, no, they didn't. The show has a tight on-screen timeline with overlapping events. What is he even talking about? Like, if you say Din and Grogu were traveling around for many years, then Boba and Fennec were doing what? Farting around on Tatooine with the Slave One for many years? Another Twitter user went to take and say that, what? Over many years? Also in the Book of Boba Fett, it felt like Grogu was just beginning his training. He couldn't even jump properly using the Force until that episode. I'm confused. With another Twitter user chiming in saying that the gap was not conveyed well at all if this is the case. And so from there, I think that you guys get the point here. Many people are flustered over this, including myself. This doesn't make any sense to me. So let's go ahead and take a moment and reread here essentially with what Jon Favreau is pretty much saying here. Okay, we're going to start here kind of from the top of the article. The Marvel and Star Wars director appears to confirm that Grogu and Din Djarin had been apart for 2 years, indicating that Baby Yoda was with Luke during that period. Now, from Jon Favreau himself, from what he has to say from himself, nobody in between, saying that in full quote, and we know that he started off earlier in the Jedi Temple, of course, when it comes to his overall beginning of his Jedi training. We've seen this in flashbacks as well in the Book of Boba Fett. It's also something that's been set up for the third season of The Mandalorian as well. And then we also know that he's been rescued and spent many years with the Mandalorian, went back with Luke, and now we've been 2 years apart from him, their training. And so I think when you take a moment and you really read this clearly towards the end there, he says, now we have been 2 years apart from him, their training, as into reference that Grogu, the last time that we saw this character technically in The Mandalorian, like the show itself, Season 2, not within the Book of Boba Fett, but The Mandalorian show itself, it's been just about 2 years. So I think that he's referring to us as in the fans. I think that everybody's kind of misinterpreting this here, essentially, in the sense that, yes, everything is still interconnected, and there isn't really all that much of a time gap whatsoever here for the Mandoverse here, essentially, with any of its shows. The Book of Boba Fett, both seasons of The Mandalorian, and probably we won't see the same thing going forward with any of the other shows, like the Ahsoka show also coming out later this year. I've also actually seen a few other content creators, Star Wars content creators, come forward to talk about this here as well, and they also think that people are simply misinterpreting this, and specifically with Star Wars Meg over on Twitter. I love their YouTube channel as well. Definitely check them out. They're honestly really, really great. I think that a lot of people are just simply misinterpreting this entirety thing here. I think that Jon Favreau is referring to us as the Star Wars fans, not in universe, in the Star Wars universe or anything like that. I think Grogu and Luke Skywalker only trained for like at tops a couple of months, kind of something maybe similar to what we saw with Yoda and Luke Skywalker in The Empire Strikes Back, but even then, I don't even think it was that long. Aside from all that, this all being said here, is Grogu's Jedi training enough to actually help Din Djarin, especially going forward here in The Mandalorian Season 3? It's something that I'm really looking forward to seeing here with overall Grogu's character, his Force abilities, his Jedi-like traits actually being more shown in the 3rd season of The Mandalorian and actually being more useful. Considering the events of the Book of Boba Fett, Star Wars fans' shocking reactions to Jon Favreau's claim are valid. However, there's still a chance that the Mandalorian showrunner may have misspoken, or that people are misinterpreting this. It will probably soon officially be cleared. The air will be officially cleared. But however, until then, I think that people are misinterpreting this, as I had mentioned, and the only way to find out is through Season 3's events, how those things kind of take place here going forward with Grogu and everything with his Force powers. 2 years or not, the important matter is that Grogu still had some Jedi training with Luke Skywalker, which is crucial to the Mandalorian Season 3's story, not just into the regards of with everything going on with Mandalore and the Darksaber and who the true ruler of Mandalore really is, but also seeing more Force-like activities here in the 3rd season of The Mandalorian, and with Grogu specifically, is something that a lot of people are really wanting to see here as a crucial story element, a part of the narrative here, essentially. Season 3 is shaping up to be a grand affair involving many Mandalorians, meaning that Din Djarin will need all the help that he can get for the eventful clash. But how powerful is Grogu going to really be ahead of Season 3? Well, the good news is that for Din, Baby Yoda seems posed to handle lurking threats. Favreau previously said that Grogu has developed quite a lot in the time since the Book of Boba Fett had ended, meaning that his Force powers have gotten greater. It is plausible that Grogu may have practiced his Force powers on his own simply after he left Luke for Din, indicating that he is still keeping tabs on the learnings from his former Jedi Master. And remember, that's not only just from the prequel era, but and also from the Clone Wars even at that, but before then even. Hopefully though, the question of how long Grogu's training with Luke will be answered in Season 3 officially. Either that, or Jon Favreau will come forward to say, hey, I misspoke, or you guys are misinterpreting this. Either which way, I don't believe this to be a 2-year gap. Let me know of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys all think here in the comments down below. What do you guys think here about Grogu and his Force powers? Do you think that Jon Favreau misspoke here on the topic of Luke Skywalker and Grogu actually training for 2 years in between the events of The Mandalorian Season 2 and also in the events of The Mandalorian Season 3? I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And of course, until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great one, guys. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.